Okay, so welcome back to the channel. If you guys have never watched these videos before, my name is Mason Dupree. Welcome. These videos just serve as sort of a documentary of my progress as I build my own marketing agency, as well as working for another one full time. And my goal is to just sort of share, sort of actionable tips and advice that I gain, while doing both. I think, and I mentioned this before, and I try to mention it in every video just because I think it's relevant, especially if you're new. This is not the first time I've talked to a camera, and I do it because I want to be able to share, with myself, documenting myself, and learning those lessons so I don't repeat them, and so for that reason, I figured, it might be worth posting them just as a way to kind of generate content, and then as a way to sort of provide value because, if I can save you from making a mistake, then, that's kind of what I would like to do with just this content as opposed to it just sitting in a drive somewhere for me to review occasionally, right? Plus, speaking things, allows me to sort of practice my speaking, formulating ideas, but also at the same time, I guess sort of testing ideas as I have to explain them, right? They kind of say like, if you really want to understand, teach or whatever. And that's kind of, what the point is of this channel. It's just to sort of share, actionable benefits. Today isn't so much of an actionable step really, but it's more about an observation that I've kind of become aware of. And I think that maybe the actionable step is just avoiding this altogether in terms of, what business model you're going to choose next. Or if you're sitting there and you're evaluating what business model you're going to go after, like me, because I've done this agency model for the past year and a half or so, and I'm starting to change sort of some things about it. I don't think I'm going to totally change the business model, but certain aspects of the offer obviously didn't work, and I'm taking note of that and changing them. But what I think is, really important, or an important consideration when you're moving forward, is that a lot of people want to build courses. And, for me, for a minute there, I was like, well, I've done all this, I've learned all this, and I've developed how to run ads for this particular customer, and I've built funnels and all that stuff, right? So I could, to an extent, productize what I've already done for my agency, which I think, if you have an agency, that's smart. In this case, the reason I'm not doing this is because I think my target customer was the problem. And so for that reason, a lot of what I've developed that is specifically tailored to that customer cannot be productized. Most of the recent stuff can be, but this is previous experience over the past year. But when you are, I guess, productizing a service business, you have to make sure it's a value, right? And then you can turn around and sort of scale it up by productizing it through a course. And I see a lot of people going that direction, or there's a lot of people that want to sell courses, or they're like, oh, I know something, so I'll just put it up and I'll sell it for 20 bucks. Or I'll put it up and I'll sell it for 200 because the value of the information is important, right? And it's very hard to actually sell a course these days. And that's sort of what I wanted to caution you guys against, and something I'm really considering when it comes into the next thing is that I'm not ever going to probably sell a course. Maybe I will. I mean, that's just my thoughts today. But what really seems to be the trend that's affecting education is that most people are giving away information as the value proposition, the sort of the value add, the free thing, whatever it would be, the lead magnet, right? They're giving it away in exchange for getting your attention, which then allows them to sell products, right? And so in a world where the information is given away for free by your competitors, why is it that you are charging for the information? It just seems to be not where the revenue stream should be coming from when the incentive for your competitors is to give away everything they know for free, right? And I think that's sort of just something that the whole industry has to adapt to. You can sell a course and maybe you have expert experience. Maybe it's more about building a community where they can engage with you so that they can get one-on-one coaching and, experience. But when you're productizing a course, honestly, I think that's just the best lead magnet, and that should be given away for free. Because these days, anyone can go anywhere and learn anything for free, right? I mean, there are courses, and obviously that could accelerate some learning, but for the most part, and even in the courses I've bought, 80% of the content is just regurgitated content from their organic free platform anyway. There's a bit of, some golden nuggets in there, if you were, but those things tend to change anyway. So it's like, really, selling information doesn't make sense to me, especially when information is becoming more and more and more available. Especially with AI and things like that, people can research things at an instant. It's not like you hold that much value retaining secrets, which is this information. And, for example, there was a book I read called Freakonomics, and there was a chapter in it that was funny enough mentioned the Ku Klux Klan and real estate agents. And it was making a weird sorry, I just got a Slack, so it completely ruined my train of thought. But there was, in Freakonomics, there was a chapter comparing real estate agents to the Ku Klux Klan. And basically what it was saying is that the reason the Ku Klux Klan collapsed or fell apart is because all of their little secrets were kind of made public. And so people started making fun of them and running around and doing it. And it basically dissolved the meaning, if there were any, to being a part of that organization, in the same sense that real estate agents, and I've spoken to them, and I know some that have been through this time frame where they used to have the MLS, and that was their lockbox of secrets. And people had to pay to get access to it or to be on it, right? And then pretty suddenly the internet came along, and I'm sure next over was just the internet guys, and they were like, hey, look, you clearly have a moat here with this MLS thing. Either give us access to it and we'll pay you, or we're just gonna circumnavigate you and you get nothing and you go into irrelevancy. And so the MLS sold all their data, which is now why you got Zillow and Realtor.com. And all of that information is now publicly available, and it has dissolved the value proposition of a real estate agent, right? And so for that reason, like, withholding information is going to only over time make you less valuable to the consumer. And for that reason, I mean, that's part of the whole channel here. Like, I'll give away things that I know generate tons of money. And, you know, it's funny to me because sometimes they don't even get that many views, which is hilarious, because if I had known, like, with certainty that I was watching a video where a guy got 50 views and I knew for a fact that he was actually making the money with the things that he was putting in place, then I was like, oh my God, this is gold, right? Like, and so for that reason, I kind of want you guys to feel that way. Like, I don't want to withhold information. I want to be able to share it and help you guys learn and get along, because that's how I provide value to you in this day and time. Like, I'm taking real learning from the sort of the front line of my development and passing it on to you guys who are hopefully, you know, being able to benefit from, you know, maybe not being right where I'm at, but, you know, you're coming up, and it'll hopefully shortcut that for you guys. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, if you're thinking about building a course, you're thinking about charging it, first it could be a great idea because you're productizing your knowledge, you can get it out there, you can scale it and whatever. But at the same time, like, that information is available somewhere else for free. And if it isn't yet, it will be. And that is how your competitor is going to get your customers' attention. It's basically, you know, everyone is just giving away information as the lead magnet. And that's valuable because, you know, information is basically all that anyone needs right now. You know, when you make a profit these days, it's because you know something that the other person doesn't, or that you can do something more efficiently the other person doesn't, or, you know, reduce the risk, all these different things. But, you know, when it comes down to it, it's like, you know more than that person does about this topic. And so you're able to actually, you know, return a higher profit margin than that person would be. And so they pay you for that return, right? You know, minus a bit of a speed bump. But anyway, I digress. If you're thinking about building a course, I would, in my opinion, at this current moment in time, only give it away for free. Make it a lead magnet. And I mean, make the best course you possibly can, because at the end of the day, like these videos, at least maybe you'll actually provide value to someone, maybe you'll make a benefit to them, and at least you've done that, right? Even if you never got any sales through it or whatever. But if you're planning on building a course, give it away, make it free, and then you can go out and you have so much goodwill that you can then spread. Like, hey, look, I did all this, I have this experience, and then I put it all together in a course, and it costs nothing for you, and I'm just there. It's there for you. You know, just come follow the YouTube channel, subscribe, whatever it is, and then, you know, get the course and try it out. Let me know what you think, and if you've got any other things that you know think should change about it, you know, please let me know. I'd love to kind of add that to the forefront, and, you know, be able to build a moat through community and you know, thought leadership. But don't charge for a course. I just don't know that it makes sense these days with the availability of information. And yeah, that's kind of my spiel for today. Hopefully that's not going to just stop everyone in their tracks. I know what it feels like to kind of have this really great idea and then start be working towards it, and all of a sudden you hear something that really dramatically contradicts what you're going to do. But I think it's better than wasting the money on it in the first place, or the time, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys check me, or, you know, check out the channel, you know, go through some of the other videos. I think there's a lot of value there that, you know, it's funny to me, you just don't know what's going to work and what's not. And it's funny to me that some of the videos that I think are actually really valuable aren't getting as many views. So, you know, comment below and, you know, maybe I'll point out a couple. But anyway, it was great, you know, talking with you guys, and I appreciate you guys watching the videos. You know, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff, and I will check you again in the next one. Thanks. All right, bye.